Welcome to Bigger Than You, the podcast to help you go from overwhelm, self-doubt and scarcity in your business to the calm, grounded and unshakably confident version of you that's going to bring your vision to life. You've got a mission and a purpose that's bigger than you and your limiting stories and beliefs. So let's get you out of your own way. I'm Jenna Holloway, your host and multi-award-winning intuitive hypnotherapist and mindset coach. Expect to hear game-changing perspective shifts on how to align your subconscious mind with your boldest goals, and will unlock the power of energetics, infusing it into every aspect of your life and business for maximum impact. Are you ready? Then let's dive in. I want to introduce Jenny. I know that we're doing this on her page, but Jenny is so incredible. And when she first started working with me, she was not where she's at now. It's so strange, Jenny. I can't see you. It's just black. It's a black screen, like you're in the dark.
That would be so weird. Everyone's saying they can see both of us.
Yeah, I am going to run with this and just assume it's just me. Okay. So I'm going to pretend you're there sat in the dark. It's all good. So strange. Yeah, thank you so much for doing this on your page, Jenny. Let's just start. First of all, where were you at in your business and with your mindset when you first started to work with me?
Oh, that's such a great question. So when I started Starseed Academy, I was trying to focus a lot on blending my intuition and my strategy, right? So trying to blend the divine feminine and the divine masculine together and trying to use them both. But most people have an imbalanced between their masculine and their feminine, and I am definitely most people. And so I was really finding in moments where I was trying to achieve something, like say a launch, or in moments when maybe I wasn't seeing the results or the growth that I wanted, that I was falling back into just masculine, which is like workaholic, like just trying to push for results. And I kept like putting aside that feminine, that intuition, that surrender, that magical part. Which is funny because my whole business is focused around magic, yet when you're trying to grow a business, it can be a lot. It can be really stressful and it can be all the things. And so for me, it was like really learning what I really needed was help getting that balance back, basically. And learning how to actually, like in moments of stress, not fall back into the habit of just work. If I work really hard, I can make it happen. That whole vibe.
Yeah, absolutely. What made you realize that because the reason I asked this question is I am always the last person that people come to, and it's like the subconscious wants to protect you, right? It doesn't want you to change. It doesn't care about your success or what you want to achieve. It just wants to protect you and keep you safe. So naturally it makes sense that doing the subconscious work is always the last resort, and people would do all sorts. So they will invest in so much before they get to me, and I'm always the last stop. So I'd love to ask Jenny, I don't know if that's the case for you, but what made you realize that doing the subconscious work was the next step for you?
It totally is the same for me, because we live in this like 3D masculine kind of toxic society thing where they really like glorify if you work really hard. Like if you are a workaholic, that's in movies, that's supposed to be cool, that's supposed to be the deal, right? And that's supposed to show people that you're serious. So I absolutely invested in a business strategist, but I will say it wasn't long before I realized that I needed to invest equally in both. And so I would say I was probably investing in my business strategy coach for I would say maybe like just couple of months, 2-3 months. And then I was like, okay, I still need more help. And then that's when I brought you on board.
Yeah. I must say that you were very self-aware, and you recognized already that, well, how you came to work with me was I did a guest expert session in the mastermind that Jenny was in. And from there, she messaged me straight away and she was like, let's do this. Like, you're my next kind of investment kind of thing. What made you pick me, Jenny, as opposed to another subconscious person?
You speak my language. So I really wanted somebody that spoke the language of like frequency and understood what that meant to me. And so like I've found since that trying to manifest results, trying to create the results in my business that I'm looking for is a combination of the frequency, which is what you're giving to me, like helping me to master my frequency. Really, that's what it is, Jenna. It's like me trying to master my frequency in difficult situations, right? So
Mm,
that I don't fall back on my toxic habits of like work, 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 workaholic, which is what I saw my father just always doing. It's like if you can, you're like a master of frequency, okay? And then that's what you brought for me, is like helping me to master my own frequency, no matter what the situation is, no matter how triggering, no matter how difficult, no matter how what was going on. So that was really what I needed. But of course, we've done so much more than that. And I know we've gone so deep into healing as well. But yeah, definitely I came to you because you spoke that language. I saw that you understood frequency. You were a master of it. You understood how to make it work for you. And that's what I wanted
mm,
too.
brilliant. What would you say the biggest breakthrough you had working with me was?
There's been a lot. Um, the time thing for sure. So I know that you know this already, but so I would feel like I never had enough time and I couldn't take a break, right? Like I had so much on my to-do list, there was no way I could take a break. And then when I started working with you, I realized that was an imbalance of frequency and a limiting belief that I don't have enough time, because I do have enough time. Time will stretch to serve me. I am the master of time, not the slave of time, right? And so I started
Mm-hmm.
forcing myself very uncomfortably to take breaks, to go for a walk, to step away from working. And I saw that I was able to accomplish just as much, if not more, even while I was taking breaks and not working late into the evenings or on the weekends. So that was definitely one of the biggest shifts for me, because it gave me time to be present with my family again. It gave me time to take in the world, like, the magic moments are the in-between moments, and I was missing everything. I was totally missing everything. And it's like, why do we become entrepreneurs if all we're going to do is be workaholics? Like,
Yeah,
what was that? That wasn't my dream. That wasn't what I wanted.
yeah. Absolutely. And this is just want to explain that a little bit for those watching. What we consciously want and what the subconscious wants can often, especially if we've not done this work, can often be two very different things. So you go into entrepreneurship wanting time freedom, wanting financial freedom, and we can be doing really well, but still not being able to take a break. And that is because of the subconscious programs around, like there's subconscious programs running for everything: our relationship with time, our relationship with success, our relationship with money. And let's just take success, for example. Growing up, we are conditioned that we only deserve success if we work extremely hard. And so what that looks like when we start a business, that belief plays out. Like our external reality will always be a reflection of our inner beliefs. And most of the time, unless we do this inner work to decondition and unlearn the unhelpful patterns and things that we have absorbed growing up, is an unhealthy relationship with time and an unsustainable relationship with success, when in actual fact we can create whatever we want to create when we have the subconscious beliefs that drive that creation of that reality. Success with ease. I always have enough time. I always get to feel good. The more fun I have, the more I receive. All of these things. And so the other thing that I wanted to address, when you said I forced myself to stop and to take breaks, when we do subconscious reprogramming, when we are looking to change the neural pathways that are hardwired into our brain, it will always feel uncomfortable, because the subconscious, or the brain, will not like change, right? It recognizes what it recognizes as safe already, and anything new will immediately be interpreted as uncomfortable and negative, because the brain just wants to keep you safe. So change is perceived as negative. Even when it's the best thing for us, it will still feel uncomfortable. So it's about creating that this is safe, and using our mindset along. So I worked with Jenny to do the subconscious reprogramming, but then there's a lot more involved in terms of mentorship and mindset work that goes along with that to maximize the impact of that work. So yes, it feels uncomfortable to take a break, but we know that it's the right thing. So we're going to do it, and we're going to create that positive relationship with the new things that are coming in. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
absolutely. And when you said something there, you said it's not sustainable to do it that way, right? Well, that also, like the universe or your subconscious or God, source, whatever term you want to use, they can feel if something is not sustainable and will not send you more. Right? If you're working in a way that is unsustainable, you're not going to get an influx of clients because your subconscious knows you cannot handle that. Right? And our subconscious is the sovereign creator of our reality. So unless we can get the subconscious on board with, I can handle more, I'm ready for more, it will never come. And so another huge shift that I've experienced working with you is being able to grow my ability to hold more. So to hold more chaos, hold more stress, hold more clients, just hold more people and emails and responsibilities. And like you have to stretch yourself in a way inside to be able to hold more, and you should prepare before the success arrives. Otherwise, it will never arrive, right?
Yeah. Yeah, or it will arrive, but it won't stay because it will freak out your nervous system and you'll contract straight away afterwards. So if we want to grow in a sustainable way, we need to do it so that we are, like you say, expand and be ready for it so that when we receive it, it feels safe. It doesn't trigger our nervous system and we continue to grow. Okay, so we get to a new level, we integrate it, it feels safe, we then grow again, we then grow again. But what often happens when entrepreneurs don't have the nervous system and the subconscious safety work alongside their strategy is they will hit the level that they want to achieve, but the subconscious will not feel safe with that and will contract. And so they'll have yo-yo months, or they'll hit a high month and just not be able to recreate it. And they'll end up working harder and harder and with less and less success. That is a warning sign that the subconscious is not feeling safe. And this is the exact reason why 2/3 of lottery winners end up going broke within 3 years of winning the jackpot, because their subconscious and their nervous system doesn't feel safe to hold that. So that's why we always have to create subconscious safety when we're looking to expand to the next level. Because it doesn't matter what you intellectually and consciously want and think. It doesn't matter. It's the subconscious that is in control all of the time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. And I feel like now that I have support in both areas, the strategy and the subconscious, I can see so much more clearly like why things didn't work in the past or how to achieve things in the future. And you can't leave out the subconscious. Like it's funny that you said like everyone kind of comes to you last, as in like, wait, something must be wrong inside. And that is, it's true because we create our reality from within, right? So if we're creating within and then we're seeing the reality projected on the outward screen of life, we can't change it on the outward screen. It's just like going to a movie theater. You can't go up to the movie screen on the outside and try to change life there. You have to go into the projector room and figure out what's going wrong in there for the picture to change, right? So it is so true that it just so aligns with my beliefs around being a sovereign creator of our own reality and taking the lead and taking like not control, but taking the responsibility that you are creating everything good and bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Always manifesting, always
Mhm.
co-creating. And it depends on what's going on the subconscious as to what you'll see on the outside.
Yeah.
Um,
And I love the timeline work that we've done too. Like that also stands out to me as being so supportive.
yeah. Can you speak to a little, if somebody's never heard about timeline, like what's been the benefit of doing that for you?
Oh my gosh, so much. It's not anything I've ever tried before with, like I've never realized that it was even something that could be done. I've definitely worked in timelines with the work that I do. I'm like traveling all the time to past lives, parallel lives, Akashic this, Akashic that, and even into my own childhood for sure, and looking and gathering information. But I never realized that you could go and shift your own timelines in your past to support you in the future, right? So going and almost rewriting memories or rewriting or seeing things from a higher perspective or an adult grown-up perspective that happened when I was a kid that have left such a deep dent in me. And then going back to that and seeing that it's not so bad or it's not so scary, or it can be something that I can look at with gratitude because it helped me to become who I am, all of that kind of self-work, but really like the rewriting of it so that when I think on it now, it doesn't feel painful anymore, right? When I think on those things, the things that are creating the limiting beliefs, the things that are holding me back, even in my business, not to mention personally, that I can go and I don't have to just accept them as they are. I can shift the energy around the moment when it happened.
Yeah. 100%. And that's the thing that we were saying earlier about expanding, being able to hold more in your business. When we have so much healing work to do, and we all do, right? You don't have to have it. You don't have to feel like there's been anything wrong in your childhood to do healing. I've messed that line up, but like everybody has healing to do is what I'm saying. And when we don't do it, that is taking up space. And when we do it, that creates so much space for us to expand and hold more. So what I always say is the level that we can hold in terms of abundance and clients, everything in our life and our business is in direct correlation to the amount of healing that we've done. The more we heal, the more we can hold. Would you agree, Jenny?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm just seeing comments here of people saying, Christina saying, I'm curious if it's possible for me to do that. It would be amazing. It is so possible for anyone to be able to, it should be our divine right. Like these are the things that they should be teaching people as life basics.
100%.
Like how do we
Yeah, I
even go
wish
without
everybody
this?
knew. Yeah, I wish everybody knew the things that I'm sharing, because it's absolutely crazy that people don't know this stuff. And just an example, when everything in our business and lives is neutral, right? It's us as a human with our subconscious that makes meaning out of things. So when something feels less than positive or neutral, that's a sign that there's some healing to do there and something to move through. And so what we would do in a session is we tap into that feeling, and that emotion holds all of the stored memories in the subconscious where you felt that emotion. And we go back to the first one. This is timeline. We go back to the first one. We look at it from an older, wiser, big picture perspective and neutralize the things that are holding us back so that it doesn't feel that way. And so that we no longer feel triggered in our business. And, I don't want us to go on too long, Jenny, but I just remember quite a few different times in our work together where we communicate with the subconscious, and you don't need to have a good memory, right? The subconscious remembers everything. You just need to tap into the emotion and we will find it. And we've made connections of stuff that you're just like, whoa, just absolutely like mind blown that thing from back then is affecting you now in your business. And it's because it's the emotion that the subconscious is remembering and making you feel this way in the current moment.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like this isn't feeling good in business this week. Okay, well, when's the first time you ever felt that way? Well, I don't know. Okay, well, let's ask the subconscious. And then we rewind time. Okay, when is the very first time I ever felt like that? What caused it? And if we go to that moment and we do that timeline work and shift it there, then it shifts it for me in the future.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like it also shifts it for the me in the past too. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm helping inner child me or other version of me as well as the current version, because everything is so quantum and really happening all at the same time. So and I just want to say, like, Jenna, you don't have to understand all of this the way for it to work. Like just because I do the work that I do and I understand timelines and all that, Jenna just walked me through everything anyway. You don't have to have an understanding of these advanced concepts to receive the help of it and the transformation that it brings.
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't erase memories, we don't change them, we change the feeling and the subconscious perception of them so that we re-empower ourselves, right? It's always about being our most empowered, most authentic self. And so much of that comes from giving back other people's judgments of us or our perceived Like, for example, our 7-year-old perception is just very unhelpful to us as an adult now. So we neutralize that, and we update the memory with something that's way more empowering, that the feeling, not the actual details of the memory, but the feeling around it, right? Because our subconscious stores all of our memories with an emotion, and the work that I do we can change the emotion. So number one, it doesn't feel painful, but number two, it doesn't hold us back in our business.
Yeah.
I'd love to speak a little bit more tangibly, Jenny. What would you say? What are the tangible outcomes that you have had, the tangible results that you've had by doing this work with me?
Oh gosh. So something that is really meaningful to me but might sound really small is like feeling like I have the time to pay attention to my family. You know what I mean? Like instead of being in like a tornado of workaholic toxic energy, I have time to stop for that hug. I have time to go for that walk with Orion. I have time to do this or to do that. That has brought me more of that fulfillment feeling, and it has really helped me to click into and align with why I started to my own business in the first place. Like to remind me of the why I did this to begin with, remind me of my why, and then bring me that balanced life that I've been wanting, with more time for me and my family and all of that. So that's a personal thing, but that's a big one, right? Like that's huge. Like that's happiness. And then a less personal one, a more impersonal one that is like more very tangible with numbers, is being able to hold more has helped me to have some of the biggest launches of my career, has helped me to hit multiple six figures. Like my goal for the year was $100,000. And I made that in by the summer, you know, like, and I just keep trucking, and it's like, really anything, it's not about the money. I know that it's not, but it is, because money is freedom. Money is freedom, and money is your family taken care of, and money is your time to you. And it can mean so many things, you know, health, and it just, in the 3D earth world, it equates to being all the other things: freedom, time, healthy food, this, whatever you need for it. So it really does matter. And it's also helped me to expand my business, right? So it's kind of everything in the end. And so for me to have a goal for the year and to hit it like halfway through the year is beautiful. And I know that that's because I've been able to calm down, like nurture myself with my inner voice in those moments, take those breaks, listen to those beautiful hypnosis recordings every night that you've given to me to help me. And I hear myself, funny thought, I hear myself saying those things out loud during the day, and I have to laugh because it's what you're saying into my subconscious at night as I'm sleeping. And then I'll hear myself refer to it during the day, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's definitely going in deep if I'm speaking it, you know, to other people. It's so funny.
So good. So good. Like, yeah, it just reflect back what you're saying. The money, the sort of tangible, the bottom line results are really incredible because it gives you that freedom. But the only moment we ever have is now. So for you to have that inner peace is everything too, isn't it? So yeah, it's been so magical watching you progress and just create epic things in your business, but watching you have that mental and emotional freedom means so much too. So one last question, Jenny. How would you describe what it's like to work with me on a one-to-one?
Like the most support I've ever felt in my whole life. Like the biggest relief of my life, the most support I've ever felt. It's very different than trying to get support from somebody like a friend or a family member. It's so different. It's professional. It feels warm and like we are friends, but it's somebody that is so knowledgeable and professional and knows exactly where to turn. We've had moments in sessions where I just feel lost, and you've shown, you know, brought me back into the light of my path again. There's really no words, is there? It's just so much. It's so big.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like supportive, and I'm also intuitive as well. So I let things come through, but I also see patterns as well, and loops, and like where we can go. And based on the things that you're saying, there's like stuff to explore from that. So yeah, there's so much that goes into it, but yeah, it's just been an absolute joy to watch you and the journey.
Never a dull moment, Jenna.
Never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment.
Thank you so much for letting me interview you, Jenny, and pick your brains. And I know that this is going to be like Jenny's going to invite me as a collaborator, so it comes over on my grid. So if you are watching right now or on the replay and you are like, holy crap, I want this transformation too. I want to step into this. I want more freedom, whether that's financial freedom or mental and emotional freedom. Like, you get to have both. If you want that, then right now I have 2 spots left to work with me one-to-one. So if this is for you, oh, thank you, John. If this is for you, you want to step into this transformation just like Jenny did, then DM me the phrase rocket or the emoji rocket if you prefer, and I will send you the information. So yeah, thank you so much, Jenny, and I shall see you on Thursday.
Okay, see you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Bigger Than You podcast with your host, Jenna Holloway. If this episode has been valuable to you, please share it with a friend or leave a review.